He wasn't sacked for performance reasons, it's just because Jim Ratcliffe has incredibly thin skin.
Obviously a little bit shocked.
He's a PE teacher.
Football's not about the manager anymore, it's about who owns the club now.
He went out with a fight.
I think he said those comments the other night to get sacked.
I feel like he got sacked for saying the truth.
So yeah, Ruben Amorim's been sacked. How do you react to that one? He's a PE teacher, so yeah, he's laughing, isn't he? Yeah. He's got like 20 odd million payout. I think he said those comments the other night to get sacked.
Not happy, to be honest, because I'm a Man United fan and I feel like he got sacked for saying the truth and like getting the boot for that. And now it's like, who do we get as well?
I'm happy. I'm a City fan, so I don't really care, to be honest. But it's probably the right decision, wasn't it?
Obviously a little bit shocked. I didn't expect it. I mean, the comments weren't great yesterday in terms of kind of the relationship with the board. I personally don't agree with it. I don't think they should have sacked him, to be honest. I feel like midway through the season it's not a good idea, really, to be changing your manager so soon. But with the comments that he made, I think it's pretty understandable. Not understandable, but I can see, the board are trying to keep a hierarchy in place.
We need to spend a lot more money on different players, and we're stuck with players that don't fit another style of football, and it's just like the cycle begins again. So a bit annoying. I did like Ruben. Maybe it was a bit reactive what he did say yesterday, but overall I didn't disagree with it. And I think maybe some people took it the wrong way.
I mean, I'm really shocked. Like, it has come out of nowhere. I can't remember a Premier League kind of sacking recently that has had this much surprise. I don't know. I'm not a United fan, so it's hard to tell, but yeah, I'm surprised though.
Why are you surprised?
I'm surprised because, look, my reading of it, this may not be true because I'm not in the loop at all, really, but my reading of it is he wasn't sacked for performance reasons. It's just because Jim Ratcliffe has incredibly thin skin.
But ultimately, I think the fact that Amorim said what he said, and it's kind of echoes what other managers have said in the past, or interims like Ranić, who also, the open heart surgery stuff. We thought with Ratcliffe coming in, you'd get a completely different, maybe dynamic. It's just not really changed at all by the looks of things. You still got the board going against the manager in terms of, coming out saying not going to make any signings, and then but you got to somehow there's a short list of players that the manager wants, and you're thinking, well, there's clearly butting of heads going on. But then, at what point do you go, Amorim's not really got the credit to be able to make those kind of claims? I think Jamie Carragher said it, and I kind of agree, as much as I hate to, that when he said about credit, Amorim doesn't have that in the bank to be making comments like that. I don't think. If that was, Mourinho or even like Van Gaal with the history that they have, what they've won in the past, manager like that telling you, you're out of order, and I came to be manager, not the coach, and I need to make more decisions, and fair enough, I get that. But Amorim, he did it right in Portugal and he won the league for the first time in ages for Sporting. But it's not enough credit in the bank to be going to the hierarchy, the club, the board, and going, you're out of order, I'm right, do what I say. I don't think you can do that.
Do you think it is the right decision to sack him?
I think, obviously, definitely AFCON and the injuries do not help. Like missing Bruno, massive miss. And you look at the past two games, Wolves and Leeds, that's 6 points. You need those 6 points there.
He's happy either way, isn't he? If he stays, he's still getting a big wage, and if he doesn't, he gets a payout. It's the only job in the world where you do bad and then you get a full payout. So
he was too stubborn playing that 5 at the back formation all the time. You need to change up depending who you're playing. He was too stubborn.
Football's not about the manager anymore, it's about who owns the club now. They're only the front man, and whoever's in the back room, they control it, so it doesn't matter what any manager does. You could be Pep Guardiola. You're never gonna, if you don't agree with the management, you don't agree with the board, that's you're done,
I think particularly that's the case at United as well, because they've got Jim Ratcliffe.
It's just across everywhere, just not at United, but for a long time, he's lucky to be there even this season again,
I think, he can't not be playing boys like Mainu. They've been struggling in midfield, so yeah, I think it's the right decision.
Do you think he talked himself into getting sacked? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's obviously said those comments to get sacked, I think. So he's happy now, and he's got his payout.
Yeah, you're asking for it as soon as you come out like that, so yeah, it's bound to happen.
Comments like that yesterday was just the easiest. It's just putting a target on your back for the board to go, yeah, we can just sack him after that, because it's a pretty good reason to sack him, really, isn't it?
It was always going to happen, just not getting the results. They got a draw against Leeds, and Leeds are a good side, but no, I should have done better.
I don't understand how drawing at home against bottom of the league doesn't get you sacked, but criticising the board does.
He went out with a fight, and you've got to respect that, because we've seen it before, like Ralph Ragnick said it how it is, and he said it how it is, and he got the boot for it, which I think is really unfair. And as he said, like, everyone has to do the job, and if the sporting director's not gonna, like, the sporting board's not gonna back you with the money, we were ready to drop 65 million on Semenyo, and why can't we use that money on someone else? So to come out and say we can't have any transfers in January is a bit hypocritical in that situation.
Maybe we're going to look back at Ruben Amorim with rose-tinted glasses here and think he was doing a good job when he really wasn't. But I don't know, the timing just feels weird, and I think exposes again Ratcliffe just being incredibly thin-skinned.
You know, I don't think he'll be gutted, to be honest, because he's been showing it for a while that he's, you know, you can see he was getting wary in press conferences.
Man, they've tried everything. They've tried big names, little names, small names. Like, they've tried every single type of manager, and it's not worked because it won't work. Because, funnily enough, it's not the manager that's the problem.
The board, the people behind the club, the higher ups have been a mess since the Glazers. You know, it all stems from that really. And no matter who they get in, you know, they're not going to get any. The Glazers are never going to get anyone in who are going to oppose them. They're always going to be slightly, you know, yes men in a sense that, yeah, they gave Ratcliffe football control, but at the end of the day, they're always going to have to be in bed with someone. And so you'll never change as long as they're there, because they're the rot.
Amorim's come in and it's just another fucking flavour of shite, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know, it's fucking pointless. What are we all doing? It's weird. I wouldn't even know where to turn to now if I was a United fan. I wouldn't even know what I'd want, because essentially you can't bring in another manager with any sort of ego. You just need a yes man.
Who would you get to replace him?
What a question. Who could come in and change United?
Exactly, what options have you got? I don't think there's anyone that would either go United, to be honest.
From people available, not many, but probably Oliver Glasner.
Everyone's saying Glasner.
Yeah, Glasner, famously criticising the Palace board, is now going to take Ratcliffe, is he?
I think looking at it, I like how he plays football and the style Palace player, and I think he would be a good fit, especially with the system he plays. I think there wouldn't be that much transition.
Palace, who are pretty well run, and he's going every 5 minutes saying, if you don't back me, I'm going to leave. If you sell Mike Gay, I'm going to leave.
Sam Allardyce. Just get him into the end of the season, because they're probably in a relegation battle now, aren't they?
Probably get Chelsea's manager.
Yeah.
Southgate's the ultimate yes man.
Absolutely not. Get that, put the waistcoat away, man.
The FA is yes man, he'll be United yes man, that's fine. And I think he'll do an okay job.
Rewarded for failure, ultimately, wasn't he? Given a knighthood on the back of losing 2 major finals and getting knocked out of the World Cup, I think it might be time you just go get a big hitter like a Zidane, or you know, Ancelotti would have been great. I think maybe he's off in Brazil, but just get a big name in, and if big name can't sort you out, then you know the problem's bad.